Yeah, we lost 9 straight, I think, to UCLA, and we knew it was going to be a big game. They were one of the hotter teams in the league, coming off they won 6 in a row, lost 2 in a row. We knew we were going to be in for a fight. The biggest concern for me was, can we score? We struggled against them down there. And, our guys were prepared. They worked hard. They found each other. We shared it. And when you shoot the ball the way that we started, build some good momentum. And I had a good halftime lead and a couple bumps and bruises, and we're up 15. But we're able to rally back, get some stops, and finish the game. But great win. Really proud of our guys. And 23 assists and only 6 turnovers. That means you're sharing it, and that's the most important thing as we move forward.
The idea of can we score? You guys, you had 61 down there, and tonight you get 94. Just the difference there.
We moved him around better. Braxton, I got to give him so much credit. His ankle's the size of a cantaloupe. He barely practiced Monday, a little bit on Tuesday. Yesterday got a little bit more, but he battled, and his ability to put pressure on the rim. Our guards read how they were going to defend ball screen coverage, and made good simple plays, and he finished. And then on top of that, we were making threes. Good, quarterbacks like our guards, you got to make the right decision. Only having 6 turnovers and 23 points or 23 assists was big.
Braxton had a hell of a game, and we talked to him.
Yeah.
He was getting beat up pretty good. He was limping, hurt his back,
Yeah.
hit in the mouth.
Yeah.
Towards the end of the game, with 3 or 4 minutes to go, he looked like he was hunching over and needed a blow, and he kind of looked over to you. You called timeout, but you sent him back in.
Oh, yeah.
Were you sending a message?
No, I'm not sending a message. I'm saying we need you, son. You're unbelievable. And his rebound, his physicality with Bona. Wilhelm does a good job, but it's like a light heavyweight fighting a heavyweight. And so his presence, and he when Braxton, he's rebounding, he was rim protecting. He had one of his best blocks, I thought, tonight, didn't he? I mean, he got that thing at the peak. Growing up, I would, Alonzo Mourning, and he had one of those ones where you're like, oh wow, that was pretty good. And I'm just really, really proud of him. And Saw having 11 assists, and both Mo and Keon were just making every open shot. But it was the unselfish play that I was really proud of how they shared it.
Braxton also mentioned, because I could see UCLA at times getting frustrated out there, and he said it was after a second dunk, and he kind of smiled when he talked about that. Could you sense that a little bit as well?
Yeah, we sensed it. He was finishing. He was strong. When he does that, it's intimidating. It's back when Frank was playing and he'd block a shot or do something. That physicality and force is pretty cool to see. Our only kind of flaw in the first half was we missed 3 1-and-1s, front ends, that we wish we would have had in the second half when KJ got the technical foul, and we kind of took our foot off the gas a little bit, changed the momentum. But we rallied back. Paulie hit a big 3-pointer. KB made a 1 out of 2 foul shots to keep that separation when it felt like the momentum was changing and shifting. But I thought we also had better, well, I shouldn't say this. There was a period where our clock management was awful, and then it ended up being good near the end, where we were making sure we were getting into a set and getting organized.
You always say you like to play fast, but in the first half. Is that as fast as you played?
Yeah, we play fast. They play at a more methodical pace. We want to just keep pushing it, and if we don't have it, we want to be able to get organized. And I thought Saw did a great job of making sure that KB was going to touch the ball late in the clock. The best ball handler, best scorer, and KB did I thought, a really good job of making them foul him rather than settling. And so, just our defense slipped a little bit in the second half. But I think going man-to-man zone, kind of kept them off balance a little bit. But
before you got here, this program had trouble beating UCLA and Gonzaga, and you've now beat them both here in Seattle in the same year, which is a pretty big breakthrough. Is there some kind of statement behind that?
I don't know. They're such great programs, and that's who when you're in college basketball, you have programs that are upper echelon, and you obviously get up for them. And they're good for a reason. They got really good coaches. They got great home court environments, and They got really good teams and tradition. And I was just, they beat us nine times in a row. We've got competitive kids. We take a lot of pride in how we play. And, Coach Cronin at his last press conference at USC talked about how it was going to be a fist fight. Like the team that usually wins the fight usually wins the game. And we just kept talking about that, like this is going to be a fight. And we talked about turnovers and rebounding. And we had 6 turnovers, and we out-rebounded them. All the other stuff, making shots, is a bonus. But in the areas of toughness, and I think in our first game, they had 27 points off our 19 turnovers. So every 4 possessions, 25% of our possessions were turnovers. And they were leading to baskets. And today we were really more calm. We were more poised. Shot selection wasn't great, but our passes, our unselfishness, our execution was way better.
In the past 3 to 4 weeks, just the difference that you've seen in Braxton. He came here and like he talked about, just he's a better teammate, and he smiled a bit after saying,
"Pass me the ball." We had to work with that. But all big guys. I played with Derek Coleman. Derek Coleman would come back, and I'd have the ball on the side, and he would say, "You better pass me the ball." And he didn't see the weak side defense, and Coach Boeheim would be like, reverse it. And we're walking down back, and he goes, "Let me tell you something." I said, "If you don't pass me the ball, I'm going to kick your in the locker room after the game." Boeheim was like, "Reverse it, ball fake, and throw it to him." But Braxton has that, "Give me the ball. I want to touch it." And we said, "Braxton, we get that, but how you say it's important." So when he talks about being a good teammate, listening, those types of things, and you can see his growth. And it's like big guys. He's got great hands. You can throw it to him at anywhere. And our guys are getting really comfortable throwing him the ball on those plays. And it's a huge part of what we do. It's one of the reasons why we're good offensively.
Keon had a big game.
Yeah.
Braxton had a big game. But you take a look at the stat sheet with what Moses Wood did.
Yeah.
39 minutes. He was 4 or 5 from 3. He had 5 rebounds. A little bit of a silent assassin there.
Hey, if you can score 18 points on 6 shots, you're pretty darn good. And just having him on the floor, I was monitoring. When you play zone, there's a little bit more energy in the tank. When you're compared to one-on-one, we kept looking at him. I kept asking the staff, "Do you think we need to get him out?" He never looked fatigued like that. But when he's on the floor, that's one of the reasons why Braxton gets the lobs. It's one of the reasons why they can only double team off a certain area when KB has the ball. And so his presence on the court is unbelievable. He made a couple he made a couple jump shots from the top of the key that were pretty spectacular, but just proud of him. 5 defensive rebounds. He made a little post move, a little fade away from about 12 feet in the first half. He's a weapon for sure. Kim.
just the evolution of the Corn on the high pick and roll, and just how he seems to be reading that better.
He does. Will Conroy does a really good job with our guys, our guards, and we prepared all week. They defend the ball screen a little bit different, and with a hard hedge, and he just made really good reads. And the thing with Corin, the way that you have to defend it because his ability to shoot behind it, it gives him a different look. So we've been using Saw and him. You'll see, one has the ball, the other one has the ball, just to give them different looks, keep them off balance a little bit. They play really good together, and we're pretty dynamic with those 2 guys in the game. At one point, we had the 3 guards. We had Pauly, Saw, and Corn in the game at the same time. That looked pretty good for a moment, but yeah.
How important are these next couple of games to try and build some momentum going into the conference tournament?
Listen, this league is wide open. One game at a time. The thing I think that everybody's figured out is anybody can beat anybody on any given night. This is the most fun, competitive league in the 7 years that I've been in, and I think it's going to make this tournament great. We're just trying to become the best team. USC now is going to be a completely different type of challenge. We'll get ready for them tomorrow, one game at a time. USC was picked preseason number 1 with Arizona. They've got talent, a lot of talent. They're starting to play great defense. They're rebounding the ball better. So we're going to be playing against a team today. Who won tonight? Anybody know? I don't know. I didn't know. And I didn't get. Did they? But what was the score?
It's a close game.
Close game. So, they're playing better. And you just, they've got great shot blockers around the rim. We all know what Boogie Ellis can do. He's an elite scorer. And so we've got our hands full. We'll prepare for them one game at a time, and then season finale at Wazoo. We've played good on the road. For the most part. But each one of these games is preparing us to go into the Pac-12 tournament and hopefully be playing with great momentum, hopefully playing with great confidence, hopefully improving on the defensive end. We had really good moments today. Later in the game we didn't, but we were playing a little bit different. Just we didn't want to foul, we didn't want to give up threes. But, one game at a time.
USC coming in on Saturday. Ronnie's coming in.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if calling it traveling circus is correct or not, but it sounds like film crew, everything coming in, the arena's going to be sold out. Have you been around any kind of an atmosphere like that?
You know what? I watched him in AAU, and it was pretty. Listen, I couldn't imagine the what he goes through on a day-to-day basis. He's a lot of people are hard on him. He's a heck of a basketball player. He's a talent. He can shoot it. He can defend. He's to be able to handle that. You got to have some thick skin, and you got to have some. He's a good player, and it would be a great environment. Listen, USC, when you play the LA schools, it's a pretty special thing. USC's been one of the top teams in the league in the last 5 years, I'd have to say, right? As well as anybody, and they got a really good team. They got a really good coach, and it will be a really tough test. I don't know if we're going to make 15 threes, but if we do, I'll have a smile on my face now. We got to be able to keep defending, keep rebounding, keep limiting our turnovers, and that's a good recipe for our success.
Hey, how is senior night different, than in past? Like, it doesn't seem like any team has anybody that stays 4 years anymore. With you got 6 seniors, and it's just guys who we've seen for a couple of years, but we haven't grown with these kids.
Yeah, it's a little bit different. A lot of these guys have had 2 senior nights, but it's listen. Anytime, again, like you said, you don't know them as maybe as intimate as you'd want, but there's still an appreciation for what these student athletes do, and for the school, and how hard they play and what they give, and it's also an appreciation for our players, to the dog pack and the fans too. It's a connector, and I love when they hold their jersey up and the applause, and it's also sad. When Matisse and I remember that first one. That was pretty tough. But so hopefully we can keep our emotions and go out there and have a great deal, and then go out and play a great game, and end off the season at home with a win.
Do you encourage them all to go through this, even if somebody like Maya's going to play another year, but he's a senior now?
Yeah, we ask them. It's up to them. Keon Brooks is going to do it twice. This will be the second time. He did it last year. But again, anytime that you can get, these kids love the noise. Social media posts there. It's good. Maybe a different jersey. Maybe KB has a home and away from last year. Maybe he can give it to his son or somebody one day. But it's just an appreciation, and it's really cool. I don't like it because it's going to be a long 3 minutes, but the appreciation is great. And if we can hold our emotions together, and play well, I've seen it where it's like, whoa, this isn't going to be good. You can see the emotion that we got to bring you back. But love the day, and it is a different world. So, but the appreciation is important.
One more.
Yeah.
I know you said you shut Frank down
Yeah,
for the year.
yeah.
I saw him on crutches today.
Yeah.
Did he have a setback?
No setback. It was one of those things where I don't even know if I can talk about it. No, it's not a setback. It was a minor thing, but it had to be done. So, but he's the guy's phenomenal. He's a great teammate, tough kid. He'll be back, ready to roll.
Thank you, Coach.
Thanks, Coach.
Go Dogs!